Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1 minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Jensen. Presented by Oak Knoll Retirement Community. Also brought to you by 988. There is hope with a 988 Lifeline. Call or text 988 for free, 24/7. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda, to see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Oak Knoll, an active life care community powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Welcome to our first Hawk Talk show of the season with Jensen as the Hawks move to 6-0 with two outstanding victories this past week. Of course, a fun event up in Sioux Falls where Iowa took care of Kansas 71-58. And then yesterday, it was great to be back inside Carver Hawkeye Arena as the Hawkeyes defeated Washington State 72-43. Stars up and down the lineup, and the starting lineup, the bench has been terrific, and we'll certainly dive into all of that on our first show. And don't forget that you can join us at the Hyatt Regency next week with Coach Jensen on Monday night. Of course, the Hawkeyes off to Cancun today, so we recorded this after the Washington State victory. And Jan, first thing I look at with these two box scores this past week are single digits in period scoring. Kansas scores 4 points in the opening period against the Hawkeyes on Wednesday, and then Washington State yesterday 4 in the second, 5 in the third. Well, you can win a lot of ball games doing that, can't you?
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that's been really fun about this year's team. A lot of people ask, how are you going to be different? And I thought we could be a little better defensively, but they've really hung their hats on that. I think we have some better on-ball defenders than we've had in the past, and we were trying to really kind of close the gap a little bit. We lost a lot of offensive firepower, and I felt like we could maybe be a little better defensively to close that. And they bought in, and it's, I think some of the shots people are missing. They're just missing them. But I feel like when we start pretty intensely in our spots, in our gaps, causing pressure feelings, it gets them a little off. And so then when they are maybe have a little freedom, they're kind of second-guessing themselves. So I think a little bit the teams we played, they've missed some shots, but I'd like to think that we do have a little something to do with that.
When you talk about defense, obviously you learn about the speed and the pace when you get to college, but especially with the freshmen, Were they good defenders, cared about it, had that want in high school?
Yeah, they really did. I would say, fives, Ava Hayden, centers are just different. They can be physical and get called for a foul looking at them. So you don't really know until they get here. Ava's got a bounce to her, and she hasn't ever really been in too much foul trouble yet. Taylor Strimlow, she's just kind of sneaky. She understands the game. Her IQ is so high, and so she can kind of help out a teammate that's struggling and kind of cheat a little bit and understand that she typically won't get caught with that action. So she's kind of fun. She's kind of a renegade, a little bit loose. Sometimes we have to reel her in, but she's pretty smart. So she helps us defensively and offensively. Tegan Malini, she's more offensively minded, but we're working on that defense. But I think overall they've just bought in. I think who's leading us is Sid, Kylie, Lucy Olson, and Hannah Stalkey, because those guys, they're all really good defenders, and so collectively they're setting the tone every day in practice.
Yeah, well, it has certainly shown out on the court, and to be able to have a 18-4 lead after one against Kansas in a neutral site, but a terrific Hawkeye crowd. And when you get that type of lead, teams like Kansas are going to make runs and get back into the game. But when you kind of set that tone, it makes it more difficult. And you've been able to shut down some really good scores.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think Kylie Feuerbach is extremely good on the ball. And she's quick, and she can recover, and she takes a lot of pride in that. So I feel like if you can, give yourself a pretty good opportunity in the opening minutes, and I think this group has really bought into that, that can, like you said, win you a lot of ball games. Because, the thing that's nice, even if the teams we've played collectively haven't been great, we've done enough defensively to give us a comfortable gap where we haven't had to rely on the offense. And, we scored today 72 points, and I didn't think our offense was really that great aside from the first 5 minutes of the game. But it's not for lack of trying. I think they're almost trying too hard. I think they're trying to will their shots in instead of just letting it happen. But when you're playing that well defensively, boy, it sure gives you a little cushion, and I'm really pleased about that.
And Lucy Olson, boy, she has just stepped in. Of course, the transfer from Villanova, getting her first action as a Hawkeye. Had 16 against Kansas, came back yesterday with 17 and 8 boards, 5 assists, and just 1 turnover. And it just seems like anytime you need a basket, boy, she just can create, has that outstanding mid-range game that, boy, the fans sure seem to love.
Yeah, and that's what's nice is like she can create a play when you need it. She can make a play when you need it. And I think we're seeing the last couple of games, she's a little bit more comfortable just kind of calling for that ball screen. And that's something that I'm very, very pleased to see her getting more confident with that. Because, she's had a tough job. She's coming in and learning a system, trying to run the system, but trying to also do what she did at Villanova, which was create, make plays. And it's a totally different system than what she ran. So I'm really pleased with how she's adjusting, and I think she's gaining confidence with each outing. And I'm hopeful that the rest of our perimeter game can start coming through here, because I think that'll even kind of make her even more confident and not feel all the pressure has to lie on her.
Do you think she can do some things at the 2-guard too if Taylor comes in and plays that point?
I think that is another matchup, and that's what was kind of nice what we were seeing today. I didn't anticipate winning that comfortably. I thought we should win. I don't think they played very well today, but again, let's hope we had a little something to do with it. But it allowed us to play different combinations, and I think that was something that we got to look at, that they could play together.
And then Hannah Stalkey and Addie O'Grady just get you off to great starts. Hannah had a double-double against Kansas, 16 and 10. Addie, a great start against Washington State. And, boy, to set that tone, you love to get that ball inside, whether it stays or kick it back out. That's how you want that offense to run, right?
Right. And I think, Hannah's line today, though, was 5 for 14. I think she can do a much better job percentage-wise. I think what we're seeing, though, is the lack of all the summer. She didn't, it's now there's no more excuses, but sometimes when I look down and, she makes those power moves and they rim in and out, or, they come off a little hard, not even rimming in and out. And I have to remind myself that I have to give her a little more patience, because she missed a lot of reps, not being able to do anything April, May, June, July. Started to do a little something in August. Didn't start really with the team until September. So I don't care how many drills you do by yourself, until the speed and the bodying and sometimes a foul no call happens. You just have to get that feel back. So I'm going to believe here when we start turning the corner at the second half of this non-conference that she's going to get that feel back, and we're going to get that field goal percentage up to where, in the inside anyway, where it usually is.
And Addie able to knock down those 15-foot jumpers.
Yep. So that, and that's kind of we always take pride in. We like to score from the block, the short corner, and the elbow. So it was nice. I think she shot 2 for 3 or 3 for 4 those shots today. So I was glad to see her get a couple of those too.
23 bench points against KU, and came back with 22 against Washington. And this is the time of year where you want to build that depth, build that rotation, get those freshmen some key minutes. And it's nice to be able to do it. You're expected to do it this time of year, but huge for their growth going forward.
Yeah, it really is. And we're going to need them. The Big Ten is so tough. Like I'm very excited and thankful we're 6-0, but I fully understand we have a couple of teams in the Big Ten in the top 5, top 10, top 25, right? I don't know much about Rhode Island or BYU yet, but I do know when we come back, we play Tennessee and Iowa State, and a really tough in-state rival of Northern Iowa, who really, they all make shots. The teams we've been playing, they've had some suspect people in the lineup, and our defense has been able to hold. So we're needing to, get the bench going. And it's nice. I mean, when you can score 22 points and you still don't feel like you've hit even close to your potential, that's really a promising.
And that is the nice thing, because it's all a growth period, right? You want to get better and better every single week, but kind of looking back at this stage, because it's been a lot here this month, as you well know. But 6-0 is still 6-0, and you can't be any better than that. Yeah,
and I think that's the thing. Sometimes I can get like, oh man, I wish that we looked a little bit. The 3 went down tonight. I think this might be a record, low. I don't know if it's a record low, but certainly it's lower than it should be. It needs to be. But then I think, you know what? We got a lot of different pieces, and you can be, being disappointed with 1 or 2 stats here or there, and have to try to get better after a loss. So I'm proud of their efforts. They're not hanging their heads. I can feel they're under confidence, and that's a bummer, but we're working on it.
And you just need to see if a couple go in, because on Wednesday night made 8 threes in 21 attempts, 38%, not bad.
So that's a lot better. Today was neither team was hitting it, so maybe it was just something in the water everybody drank today.
Yeah, they follow the lead sometimes, because Washington State really struggled from 3, especially in the second and third quarters. Oaknall's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oaknall is conveniently located near University of Iowa Healthcare Campus, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and, of course, downtown Iowa City. A proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. You can visit oaknall.com to learn more. Also, throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series, as Coach Jensen said, Iowa and Iowa State right around the corner. Iowa Corn promotes values that are uniquely Iowan. On behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, we salute all athletes for their hard work and determination both on and off the field. Just like our athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. You can follow Iowa Corn on Facebook to learn more about how corn grows Iowa. We'll have more Hawk Talk with head coach Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall from Learfield after the break.
Did you know that UI ranks near the top of the EPA's Green Power Leaderboard with 84% of our energy coming from renewable sources? Now you can be a part of the team that makes it happen. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, with our partner, NG Iowa, is offering full-time positions in utility operations for our campus and hospital water, heating, steam, and distribution systems. Check out the jobs and apply at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffrey. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
People are having a hard time containing their excitement about the new Holiday Scratch and Instaplay tickets from the Iowa Lottery.
Holiday tickets? I love these!
Especially when they find out you can win part of over $1 million in second chance cash prizes when you enter any holiday ticket in the Iowa Lottery's VIP club.
$1 million? Woohoo!
Yes, woohoo indeed. Cash prizes are coming to town from the Iowa Lottery.
Woohoo!
See rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
I'm Y.A. Black, defensive line, Iowa. On the field, I take on double teams, stop the run, and sack the quarterback.
Sullivan now runs for his life, and he's obliterated by Y.A. Black. Here's the snap, the spot.
Yes,
and it's blocked it. Kick is back to the line of scrimmage.
Don't touch the ball.
Hawks get it back. Y.A. Black, and man, what a momentum shift there.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with head coach Jan Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll. As we record this show, we'll be live from the Hyatt Regency next week from 6 until 7. Jan, a week ago yesterday, of course, a huge victory against the Drake Bulldogs, and most people know your history playing there and leading the nation in scoring, your number 13 jersey, high atop the Knapp Center. And then, obviously, the assistant coach with Coach Bluter at Drake for several years. And then always had those ties with Iowa and Drake from a player standpoint currently. And then also the coaches. And what a weekend that must have been for you, especially with everything that surrounded their 50th anniversary.
You know, it really was. It was probably one of my, most, homecoming emotional weekends in the sense of, that's where I grew up at Drake. And we had Drake did a really great job in making a neat celebration to celebrate the 50 years and invited every era back. So being a coach there, we were always having alumni events. So I knew a couple of the older folks that started that in early 70s. And then they were there. And then certainly, Julie Fitzpatrick, my spouse, her teammates were there. And I was a teammate, but then the kids that I recruited were there. And then the Drake current team was there. So every possible angle happened in that Saturday night. So to go in there to a really tough place to play, I have all the respect in the world to Allison Pullman and her staff. And to get a win is really just a great, it was a great moment. It was, I just feel blessed to have got it because it's hard to get wins in there.
Well, as we're finding out, Iowa State defeats Drake in Ames by a bucket yesterday, 82-78. Drake actually took the lead with 9 seconds left. Katie Dinnebeer scored, and then Crooks got a basket right at the buzzer. So you know how those in-state games go and how difficult they are. And, Iowa, some of your best teams have gone over to Des Moines. Remember that overtime victory. It's not easy this time of year.
No, it really isn't. And the in-state rivalries, you throw everything out the window. And Iowa State's a heck of a team. And it usually takes a major effort by one player on each side that is going to have a great game. And Dinnebeer did it to us, and we got a win at Drake, and she did it to Iowa State. But we had Addie O'Grady. She had a great game for us at Drake, and obviously Audie Crooks. Obviously, I haven't seen the box score, but it's just a lot of emotion, and I think a lot of respect amongst all the coaches. So whenever you get an in-state game, you just take it no matter how you get it. And if you like Drake, if they lose it, Iowa State, when they played a heck of a team at Northern Iowa, you just have to have your hats off because it's hard. It's hard in this state.
Closing the book on that Drake trip, and they did a great job in honoring all those former Bulldogs. And, Iowa obviously has great pride, great history, but, Drake's had some really good history in the Valley as well, and they are at the top along with UNI, it seems like, every single year, which kind of goes back to what the coaching is and also the players across the state. And it brings back a lot of memories for you, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I think that's all of the universities in the state, the Division I, but certainly the Division II and smaller. We can take a lot of pride. The state of Iowa has supported women's basketball and high school girls basketball, and it's not like that in other states. And I think Drake from the very beginning did it really, really well early. I think the University of Iowa did it really well early, and we have continued to certainly showcase that. And since 2016 with Sam Logic here and Megan Gustafson era, Kathleen Doyle, and then Caitlin Clark, the Hawkeye fans have been so faithful and, sold out last season with Caitlin and Kate and Gabby and Molly Davis and Sharon Goodman. But then this year to sell it out again has really been really an honor. I feel so thankful, and I just want to keep, living up to the standard and have everybody, appreciate them, coming and being with us because it really is huge recruiting-wise, and it's really fun to play.
Yeah, how big is that when recruits come and game days here last year, sold out Carver Hawkeye Arena, they're seeing it again.
Yeah, it's
this
really,
year.
yeah.
The other teams talk about it when they come here. Washington State did yesterday.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We had a top nation's best at the game today, and you're just really thankful. And I just hope the Hawk fans will continue to keep showing out because it really makes a difference. And it's just so fun, and I just am so proud of it. But even more proud, I'm just so grateful for that type of support continuing.
Well, then up at the Pentagon last Wednesday.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, neutral court, but boy, that was all black and gold.
I mean, I guess it sold out in a couple of minutes, the organizer said. So, Hawk fans, you are truly the best, and we can't thank you enough. Our program, but everybody, every coach from, Fran to Kirk to soccer. I mean, Dave Yanni, we got to say,
what
Hawkeye
they're doing,
soccer,
absolutely.
They're going for the Elite Eight tonight, I think in a couple hours, 8 p.m. Central or West Coast time, right? So we got to turn on TVs. I hope it's on somewhere. We got to tune in and watch that. So we all appreciate the Hawkeye Nation, and honestly, it isn't like that. I said at my opening press conference, and I'm so thankful that everybody is continuing to show out.
Playing in Sioux Falls last year, that doubleheader with the men and the women in Des Moines. The men played over in the Quad Cities. Is that something that you'd look at doing on a year or by-year basis?
Yeah, I think we would. I think it's the timing because you do give up a home game to do that, and we have a pretty cool home court here. So looking at that, it has to work timing-wise. It has to work. We have different contracts that are always set with the Drakes and Iowa States, right? They're standing. So you have to kind of find the open weekend and offsetting when we're taking a big trip to Cancun this year, sometimes we don't take it out of the country. So it's definitely, it's situational, but it's something that was really, really special. And I definitely would like to do again and would definitely entertain doing.
And obviously with these, the made-for-TV matchups, Virginia Tech and Charlotte, and you've got, South Carolina flew all the way to UCLA yesterday. UCLA won that game for one game. It's not like they're playing 2 or 3 out there. But these marquee matchups, of course, the Barclays Center with Tennessee coming up at the beginning of December, I'm sure those are attractive and come at you every year too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's our goal is, right, to be one of the teams that get asked for those fun tournaments and fun games because, you have to have a level of success for people to, want you to come to those marquee places. And I think it's a lot like bowls. We have good fans. It's fun. We travel well. And so I think it's fun when you have teams that are in those tournaments that aren't just good, but you're going to have a fan base that's going to come with us. And again, I credit our Hawkeye fans for helping us to get invited to those cool events.
We'll have more with Coach Jensen as Hawk Talk rolls along. The Hawkeyes, of course, are bowl eligible. Football team got a big 7th victory last Saturday against Maryland. And don't forget that you can sign up at HawkeyeSports.com/BowlCentral to get tickets, travel, and hotel information as soon as it's announced. Presented by Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited, Iowa's official bowl tour. As a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes, it is U.S. Cellular. They want to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first, and you can scroll later. U.S. Cellular is built for us. Hawk Talk with head coach Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall, will continue from Learfield.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides the direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today?
The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Our mission at Oaknall is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oaknall is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Time now for the Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield Health Coverage Report. When you enroll in a Wellmark individual or family health plan, you get an HMO network that includes over 32,000 providers. Plus, you get support from a company that's been serving Iowans for 85 years. Now, those are some impressive numbers, and that's health coverage you can feel confident in. Find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. Enrollment ends January 15th.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall from Learfield, as we get things underway for Hawk Talk, another season. And of course, Jan, you filled in a lot for Coach Bluter, so you're used to this, and we're going to have a lot of fun this year, right? Can't wait to get the crowd back.
I can't
You talk
wait.
about all these packed arenas.
I tell you
Monday
what,
nights are always packed too.
I love that. Yeah, I'm very excited to see everybody, and when we get rocking and rolling again over there, and the Hyatt folks are so great. So we can't wait to see you guys.
And that'll happen next week, as we'll be on the air from 6 until 7, and then every Monday night leading up to Christmas. So we'll have plenty of time in December to talk Hawkeye hoops with you. Jan, one thing that stuck out yesterday as well, obviously getting players into the game. Jada Gyamfi had that's your second banked three the last 2 Sundays.
Is that Jada's or is that someone?
Jada's, and then Tegan had one at Drake.
I tell you what, when the bank's open, you never, ever, ever reject it. I tell you that.
You take them any way you can get them. Aaliyah Guyton, you got her into the game.
Yeah, I was so happy about that. You know, the road back from an injury like that is always a tough one. And it's long and it's lonely sometimes. So to be able to see the joy on her face, and she got pretty overcome with emotion when we were in the locker room afterwards, because it's just like, whew, you know, I finally made it, right? So she's got a lot more confidence to gain, and certainly to catch up, just the game feel. But boy, it's sure good to see her out there.
It can be mentally as well as physically tough on you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Even more so towards the end, right? Because she had her first fall also last week, and the first fall is big. There's a lot of, anxiety with it and double checking, and you're scared, but then there's also like, okay, I'm okay. And so I think that's been a big week for her. So that happened, and she bounced right back after a couple drills, and then she got in the game. So hopefully we can have even a little bit more action when we get down in Cancun.
What'd you see about her game? It became a big-time recruit in high school.
She's really smooth with the ball. She's got a really high IQ. She likes to play defense, but she can get to the rim. She's really good at getting to the rim, and she's got a beautiful three. I mean, she's just a really nice point guard. She was one of the higher-rated kids. She's not as big as some of the others, but she makes up for it in a lot of other ways.
And just kind of fits that class perfectly,
Absolutely.
too.
She really does. Really fits them really, really nicely. So I'm really excited to get her back. And it'd be nice to be able to utilize her in backing up Lucy, because then Taylor Strimlow can go back to being a 2 or 3, backing up those positions. But that's what you love about Taylor Strimlow. If I told Taylor, you have to go back up to 5, she'd be like, all right. There would be no worry. Be like, okay, great, can't wait.
Doesn't seem like her facial expression would change at all.
No, not at all. She just is one of those kids that just really takes a lot of joy. And I just think it's also a good reminder. Taylor's a great reminder that it's a game. She plays it like a game, and it's fun. And I try to remind all of them that it's a game. It should be fun. So kind of alleviate the pressure. We want to win, yeah. We get cranky when it doesn't always go our way. But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful game, and we get to play it. So I think Taylor Strimlow really she exemplifies that.
I think the fans have started to take notice, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lucy Olson yesterday signing autograph after autograph, taking picture. So obviously she's a fan favorite as well. And then you have that situation at Carver, and then everybody crowding the Hawkeye locker room in Sioux Falls, wanting a little time with the Hawks afterward, huh?
Yeah, it really is great. And it made me think I have to double check. I hope the kids got out, our players, and the kids got some autographs from our players. Sometimes it's a little hard because we have a quick turnaround. We have practice tomorrow at 8:30, and they got to get some studies and packing done. But so if you were kids and families that didn't get a lot of the autographs tonight, please know that we try to get that. At least we limit the time a little bit, but it was a quick turnaround for them to get ready to go to Cancun.
And I know, too, against Kansas, Hawk fans were there when you got to the arena.
Yeah, they really were. I wasn't really, I think none of us were really anticipating that. And it was colder that night. So sometimes they'll be outside. But boy, when we walked in that arena, the line, the depth of the line, both sides of a tunnel kind of, a little walk down to the locker room was pretty cool. I think Hannah Stalkey said it kind of reminded her when we went to the Final Four in Dallas, when just the throngs of people, not that many, but just that feeling. And that certainly was a great memory for all of us.
Well, that doesn't beat the time, I think it was last year in Madison. When fans started lining up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Amazing.
I don't think it was 30 degrees yet.
No,
and they were willing to sit there for 5 or 6 hours.
It was pretty amazing. Yeah, when you think about what transpired the last year or two, it's pretty amazing. So, again, just so thankful I've been a part of it all.
And you remember Nebraska, too, where we could hardly
couldn't get through
on the bus to get over the arena.
So. It really was. And I think we're seeing that support certainly with us. But, Caitlin's continuing that in the WNBA. A lot of places are sold out, not just Indiana.
Right. And don't you think, too, with Big Ten basketball, that's what leads to the growth. Because
Sure
Nebraska's
does.
been good. Obviously, Indiana, Ohio State. I mean, big-time home court advantages. And then, obviously, with the new teams coming into the league, won't have seen crowds for the most part. There was a big crowd at Pauley Pavilion, obviously, yesterday, and they know. But they'll have to come into some of these tough places around the Big Ten week in and week out.
They really will. And I think the thing is, UCLA and USC, Oregon's playing really well. They've had success. Sabrina Nescu, who's now at the New York Liberty, made Oregon a name for them, and vice versa, Washington. But then, they deservedly need a lot of their respect coming in. But, I mean, Maryland's really good. Ohio State's really good.
Consistently.
Indiana's really good. So it's they're going to be coming into some really great environments. Not that the Pac-12 hasn't been, but I think they're trading greatness for some greatness, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this first year shakes out. And I think the regular season champ, that's a really unique one now, right? Because it's you have just your one home and home, and you're just kind of the random of who you're playing on the road, when you play a team at home. But certainly, I mean, whoever does it is handling it. But that's a unique part of the schedule.
Well, and you're right, Jan. I think that's kind of gone away, the regular season, unfortunately, with the super conferences, because you go back to Bob Knight and Gene Katie and Lou Henson. All they talked about was the most important thing throughout the year is winning that regular season Big Ten title, because you played everybody twice, but that's not even near the case today.
Right. Well, and then you really can't really always protect your home, right? You only get one shot, and sometimes it's on the road. So you got to try to find a way to steal even more on the road sometimes. And then it puts a lot of pressure.
Just not a level playing field.
Right, yeah. And, I mean, everybody's got the same, so I'm not complaining about it, but it's just different. It's the expanse of it. Then you're bringing in these great teams, and so you just don't know. And I think they do a pretty good job making sure that you're not playing every top team on the road. I think they work a lot, as well as they can, the Big Ten office. Some of it's a computer that spits it out, but I'm sure there's some other decisions that go into it as well.
Well, that's what makes that conference tournament so
does.
great. 3 in a row.
That it does, doesn't it? My goodness. Let's go.
Oaknall's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oaknall is conveniently located near University of Iowa Healthcare Campus, Kinnick Stadium, Carver, and downtown Iowa City. A proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. You visit oaknall.com to learn more. When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org. More Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall from Learfield, coming up.
Hey, Hawkeyes, while your hard at working class are on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jensen and Fran McCaffrey. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Time now for the Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield Health Coverage Report. When you enroll in a Wellmark individual or family health plan, you get an HMO network that includes over 32,000 providers. Plus, you get support from a company that's been serving Iowans for 85 years. Now, those are some impressive numbers, and that's health coverage you can feel confident in. Find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. Enrollment ends January 15th.
Quinn Schulte, I play safety here at the University of Iowa. On the field, I stop the run, I make the tackle, and I get interceptions.
Rosmer to throw, has time.
Yes,
it's deflected, intercepted again by Quinn Schulte. He's running the other way at the 40-yard line. Hawks have another turnover. We're going to slam the lid, hopefully down. Here's an interception. That'll do it. And it's Quinn Schulte. And down there, the Hawkeyes will have first and goal.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
Not all internet is created equal. It's a lot like choosing a quarterback. Technically, you could sign up any new rookie provider on the block, but the success of every device in your home depends on it. Will they perform in the clutch, or will they buffer under pressure? Extreme provides the speed you need with a 100% gigabit technology network and amplified Wi-Fi. And unlike signing a quarterback, Extreme Internet requires no contracts. There's only one pick to lead your team. It's Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
Welcome back to our first Hawk Talk show with head coach Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll. The Hawkeyes 6-0 after coming off a terrific victory against Washington State, 72-43 on Saturday afternoon. Great to be back inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. Seems like it's been a little time, but Hawkeyes have had an interesting schedule to start. Jan, you've been out in Charlotte, heading to Brooklyn, got some home games, got the in-state games. This is going to be a pretty good test. And then, hey, trip to Cancun coming up this week. It won't be the 28 degrees like it's going to be around here later on in the week.
I know. I think I think that we got the pretty good end of that deal. Although I'd love to be in town and supporting our Hawkeye football team taking on Nebraska, but I'm sure we'll find a pretty good TV down there and have our toes in the sand.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about too, is getting the team together on the road, camaraderie. Obviously, you're going to practice, play Rhode Island, play BYU. That's first and foremost, but time to enjoy yourselves as well.
Yeah, I think that's the reward. These tournaments that started years ago. It's you can go down there if you have a good support, which we do, to be able to take a trip like this, and it just is a helpful thing for recruiting. Not everybody can take a trip to a Cancun or do something like that. So it's fun. You get to have a little bonding too, whether you're doing a little excursion, but then you're working on keeping their focus and then doing business when it's business, and then getting them to understand, okay, you got 4 hours, you can be by the pool, but then after that, no sun, all the different rules. And We've just had such a good culture here that our players always kind of understand that.
And that's having veterans
Yep.
kind of leading the way with
absolutely
how it's done with the freshmen.
Yep. And they, I never worry about that. When I remind them, certainly they are kids, right? 18 to 21 years old. But I just think I feel really blessed that we've always been at a place that we get to travel like this and do some really fun tournaments. And I'm hopeful we can go down and have some fun in the sun, but have even more fun on the court.
How's the setup down there as far as the basketball, and is everything kind of on one location?
Yeah, it's really nice. You just basically walk in the resort to one of the convention centers, and just kind of funny. You take a little escalator up and you walk into a banquet hall, and they've laid a really nice, court down and set bleachers up, and it's always fun to see the freshman's face the first time, because it's like, what? We're
playing in a ballroom,
right? But then, when you get used to it a little bit, it's pretty fun, and I think the parents like it too. It's kind of more of an intimate setting, and maybe some of the parents have a margarita. I don't know. I haven't been. I'm guessing though it's a resort. There's probably
probably one or two
concession
available,
stand.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. So I think it's usually when the parents come, they enjoy it.
As far as these tournaments, do they kind of contact you, or as a coaching staff reach out to promoters? How's that all?
Yeah, they usually this type of tournament, they usually kind of know your cycle, right? If you've been to Cancun, then they'll kind of know in a couple 3 years you might be ready up again. So it's both ways. Or if we're kind of interested, you kind of maybe another conference friend is like, hey, did you like that tournament in Florida? Hey, did you like that in Cancun, or the Great Alaskan Shootout, or whatever? So what more so the teams that contact you are like when we're going to go play in Tennessee. Like, you don't usually say, hey, by the way, you want to pick us? When you go to those marquee matchups, you get a call that says, hey, we'd like you to be the highlight of this 4-game or two game tournament or whatever. I mean, this one is not a tournament. When we go to New York, we'll play Tennessee, and then the second game is Louisville and UConn. So it's not a tournament; it's just a showcase, I guess. So
kind of like Charlotte.
Yep, absolutely.
Last year in Florida, that was a terrific basketball as well. You played Florida Gulf Coast and got another shot at Kansas State.
Yep.
And there seems to be a lot of tournaments down in that Fort Myers area.
Yeah.
A lot of basketball.
And that's I never mind that either. A tournament in the States, in Florida, it's a little bit easier. It's not quite as taxing when you're just flying down to Florida. When we're going to Cancun, I'm not complaining, but you got customs, right? Coming back, when you leave, you got to stop somewhere to enter back in. So it's fun, it's great, and we know how to schedule it. It's not our first rodeo, so we just hope that it's nice and easy travel on the way back, and the planes leave when they're supposed to leave, and we'll get back on Saturday afternoon. And then that next week is going to be pretty important. We'll be hopefully, I really hope we're coming off of a couple wins in Cancun. But regardless, hopefully we've learned and grown, because we're going to have arguably the best, matchup we've had so far on a neutral floor. I think Drake's a pretty doggone good team there. But, the Tennessee matchup is kind of a storied one.
No question about that. Some of these tournaments, 3 games, some are 2. How do you navigate that?
It's kind of sometimes what you tell them you want to do. If you need 3 games, right, maybe you don't want to schedule another road game, so you're down somewhere. You'd rather have a game in neutral. It kind of depends what you're looking for, in our opinion. Like if you have a young team, a seasoned team, how much you ratchet it up, and how well you know the organizer. It's like anything in life. Sometimes you're the big dog, and they'll kind of build it around you, or sometimes you just want in. And so you kind of talk to them, like say, okay, hey, I don't really want the field to include South Carolina and Connecticut right now, right? We've graduated some folks. So you kind of do that, and then if they're building it with you, you want 2 games, you want 3, and you can say, we just need 2. So that's what helps with kind of being in the business a while. We kind of understand it, and some of the folks, and sometimes it doesn't work. Maybe we want a 2-game tournament and it's only a 3, then we don't go that year, right? But for the most part, that's how you kind of call it.
Seems like plenty of opportunity out there, as the Hawks will play Rhode Island and BYU in Cancun before coming back for the start of December basketball. We'll have our final segment with Jan Jensen as Hawk Talk continues, presented by Oaknall from Learfield.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
People are having a hard time containing their excitement about the new Holiday Scratch and Instaplay tickets from the Iowa Lottery.
Holiday tickets? I love these!
Especially when they find out you can win part of over $1 million in second chance cash prizes when you enter any holiday ticket in the Iowa Lottery's VIP club.
$1 million? Woohoo!
Yes, woohoo indeed. Cash prizes are coming to town from the Iowa Lottery.
Woohoo!
See rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Not all internet is created equal. It's a lot like choosing a quarterback. Technically, you could sign up any new rookie provider on the block, but the success of every device in your home depends on it. Will they perform in the clutch, or will they buffer under pressure? Extreme provides the speed you need with a 100% gigabit technology network and amplified Wi-Fi. And unlike signing a quarterback, Extreme Internet requires no contracts. There's only one pick to lead your team. It's Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just needs someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Our mission at Oaknall is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oaknall is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
More Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall, as we get set for a trip to Cancun, as Iowa will take on Rhode Island and BYU. Jan, and obviously your first year as the head coach, new staff member, as far as the structure and how your outstanding staff is handling things, duties, what's that look like? Because you know, there's always some shifting when, obviously, a new head coach, and you bring in Randy Henderson, who's done a
Randy
terrific
Peterson,
job.
that's
Randy
the All
Peterson,
Big Ten post player, baby, right there.
Yep.
Way back
been
in the day.
a great head coach throughout the years, too.
So great. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going, really well. That's the thing. You're melding new people, and what's different this year is 6 people can have a voice. Used to be just 4 coaches could talk on the floor. So now we're adding a couple more. Sean Sullivan is a Regina High grad right here in Iowa City. And, he was our started on our gray squad, our men's practice squad. Then we was like, wow, this kid's really sharp. Had a manager. Then when he graduated, we put him in the video coordinator role. Finally, we said, hey, you got to get some other experience. He went to Penn State, did great. Went to Pitt, did awesome. Then he got a job at North Carolina, and they elevated him to a 6 coach status. So getting him back is really great. He's loves defense. He's a great strategy mind. Randy's been a successful head coach. And then Raina and Abby are my solids, right? They're great. Raina's got her big dogs always. That power forward, small forward group is fun, and she's just a gem of a human. Raina is, and a great coach. And Abby, man, boy, they don't come any better as human beings. And Abby's really a great strategy mind. And she's got her lead guards. They're locking down the defense. I think she's called the lock squad or something this year, her defenders. So they all have pretty fun deals going with their positions. But I'm really blessed with those who stayed and getting these new ones. And I think we're hitting our stride. I mean, sometimes you got to kind of be careful. You got too many people talking at the same time, but I think we're really doing a good job with it.
Yeah, it's great to have great basketball minds surrounding you because, and like you said, wanting to be here. That's another key. You did it, and obviously ones that have been around a long time love being at the University of Iowa as well.
And I think that's what's so fun is Raina's starting her 7th year, right? And, she's going to make a great head coach someday, but she really loves it here, and she's
and as you know, that's tough, right?
It really is. And so I'm just so fortunate to work with such great people. They're just all really great, caring people, and then they all really are great coaches. And I think, the thing is the way that our players really, really love, I think, the coaching staff and really respond to how they're coached. And I think the players really know that we care about them first as people. And we're going to do everything we can to help them become their best type of player that they can be. But, I mean, our staff does an amazing job. I'm beyond blessed to have those guys.
And in the recruiting as well. Assistant coaches, as you well know, does a lot of the communication.
Yeah, they really do. And I think that was one thing that was kind of hard for me at the beginning is I think I was kind of trying to do 2 jobs, really worried about, all these texting and calling and having to do that. And then I finally realized, I'm like, whoa.
You've sent a few texts in today.
Yeah, I have. And I think I just one time I was like, okay, wait, I got to remember, I talked to Raina and the staff. I said, okay, someone's got to kind of, pick up and do, and they are and they will. But you have to kind of realize now I got a few other things and maybe don't always have the time to just focus on all the texting.
Coach
but
Bluter.
I still text, believe me.
Absolutely.
Text my tail
I mean,
off.
you're multitasking.
I'm just saying,
as
like,
we speak.
it's like I used to just like go and like, be crazy, but now there's just the top tiers, right? A little bit more you're focused on. So yeah, every coach, I mean, it takes a janitor to recruit this day and age.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure it does. Well, Coach Bluter at the game yesterday as well.
She's awesome.
Just love to see her at all times. How often do you get a chance to communicate with her?
Well, I mean, we text. Jenny Fitzgerald and Lisa and I, we have a little long-lost text loop, I think, with long-lost friends is what we call it.
Saw all 3 of you at Drake.
Yeah, exactly. They, they're so busy. I mean, Lisa has, she has so many opportunities to do things, but, the thing that whenever I need anybody, they will be there immediately. But it's so funny. I talked to Jenny one time on the phone after a game. I said, so what'd you think? I mean, I think what I was asking, like, I need to, work on that ball reversal. She's like, oh, I do not know. I am way too social. I do not watch it like that anymore. I said, what? She's like, oh, no. Maybe when you play on TV, I'll watch it. She's like, no, I'm talking, and I'm just enjoying it. I said, okay, fair enough.
I saw her at the Drake game. She said, this is the way to go to a game.
Yeah,
with her mom and just heading back up to the stands.
Yeah, I think the first time she ran into someone, and when she was parking to walk in, I think both she and Lisa, it was kind of weird to be coming in about tip-off, right? But they, everybody is doing really well, and they couldn't be more supportive. I mean, they're for me, and they're up and cheering, and win, lose, or draw, I will never have as great support. My best friends, and they're just sleeping a little better at every night. When thankfully I'm still winning, but I'm not sleeping nearly as lightly as I used to. Even though I slept, truth be told, I probably had some rough nights too and worried as in my other role. But I say that in jest. I mean, you just know, even
just
though
part of the deal.
When I worked with Lisa, you knew at the end of the day, all decisions rested with her. But we sure shared a lot of them. But now I understand that full and clear.
Yeah. I'm sure you do. Well, get some rest tonight.
I will. And my voice it just does this now with this coaching gig, so I'll get some lemon tea or something.
You'll be just fine, Jen. Great to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much. A special hi to all my friends and family in Southwest Iowa, but everybody on Hawkeye Nation. Take care. God bless. And have a great holiday season. Here we go.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And let's get 2 victories in Cancun. And we'll see you, of course, next Monday at the Hyatt Regency for Hawk Talk, 6 until 7. With head coach Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall. And stay tuned for Hawk Talk with head coach Fran McCaffrey.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, this has been Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen, presented by Oaknall Retirement Community. Also brought to you by 988. There is hope with a 988 lifeline. Call or text 988 for free, 24/7. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Oaknall, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.